I shouldn't feel intimidated that, you know, if my vagina is dry.
Mama's Code.
Hey mamas!
Ooh, look at us.
Do you know what? I feel like a dolphin right now.
You know, all I can think of is, you know, that gif of Peter from Family Guy, and then he's naked and then he jumps on a dolphin.
To be fair, that's how I feel. And I'm so smooth. I shaved off everything. Got my armpits sorted.
You know what's happening tonight?
I might get lucky tonight. I might not. I might fall asleep after this. Hey, how is your side doing?
Good. Not as smooth as you. Not gonna lie. Legs are feeling a bit prickly, but hey, married now.
It's the texture
so
you're going for.
Have no escape.
Do you know what? I am still eating though. I haven't stopped.
I don't think we can stop because it's like, you know, when you're just bored and you have nothing else to do.
Every day now?
Yeah, it's like, what else do? We just eat, you know, it keeps our mind happy. Because if I don't eat and I'm bored and then I get frustrated, then obviously there's just going to be trouble, isn't there? House is not going to be able to function.
I really need to chill though, because then it's gonna be like imagine a 0. So like imagine my partner's the 1 and I'm the 0 on top. Like,
but you complement each other.
That is not sexy.
Because if 10 can be together, then why can't you and your partner not be together?
That's not sexy. I'm not gonna get laid anymore. And do you know what? Having said that, don't you feel like quarantine is like bringing up all the sexual tension in your household?
I don't know. Like, I feel like because I'm so drained, my vagina's not functioning. I think I'm dead inside. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like there's days that I'm like, get in here and like destroy me, but others I'm just like, yeah, no, I prefer sleep, I'm not gonna lie. Or like, you know, like before when I used to tell him like, okay, but like just try not to move too much.
Do you know what? We didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah.
So I'm Jess.
And I'm Erica. We have no Melissa. Mama's Code. Maybe think of me when you're having sex.
Like, remember when you didn't have to think or like rush your whole day to be ready for when your children go to nap so you can have sex? And like, if you wanted to have a quickie, you just bang
anywhere.
Out wherever.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you're like on the sofa and then he like whips it out and then you're just like, oh yes, this is happening, and you quickly get undressed. Now it's like, you know, like maybe make a little hole in my trousers just in case one of my kids walk in, and it's just like you can kind of like blend in. Oh, you know, I'm just jumping on daddy, playing.
No, because I'll be like, oh, can I jump? Can I join you?
Yeah, probably. Knowing Jojo, he'll be like, oh, fun, and then he'll start jumping as well.
Has that ever happened to you? Like, obviously now he's quite big. Like,
yeah. Well, I think me and Ollie are still like, you know, we still very much want to keep our, you know, sex life on. So we do try to, you know, be frisky and stuff. And I know it's bad and most people might judge and say, you know, we shouldn't do it when your kids are awake. But sometimes
you just have to get laid.
And it's like you said, like it's just so long waiting up until that time for your kids to go to bed. And by that time, most times I'm tired. So I'm just like, oh, I go put my kid to bed and I fall asleep. And I wake up at 2 a.m, like with like my hair all picky, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And then he's just like, oh, yeah, no. I pass.
Not anymore, babes.
So it's like I did once, like we were in the room and then we just got down to it. And I remember he was on top of me and then, oh, no. I was on top of him. And then we heard Joel's footsteps. Camilo got so scared that he threw me up to the drawer, and I had like I can't explain how big this bruise was on my back. And how did I literally just had to cover myself, and I was like, oh no, mommy just came out of the shower. No, I didn't.
Elaborate. What were you wearing?
Nothing. Butt naked. Like after that we learned like maybe just put them in the shower, like in like bubble bath, and then let them soak in, and then we can get like a quickie. Like, I mean, my kids are not going to drown, okay? I don't put the water that high just in case I get charged.
Did Jojo want to jump on the bed with you guys?
No, well, luckily, he didn't see me jump on Ollie. So, like, we were in action, and then Ollie, I don't know, his dad instincts, he just thought, you know what, it's better Erica dies than my kid seeing me naked. So he just threw me. Next thing was I just had the biggest bruise on my back. Like, had my parents seen it, they probably must have thought, oh my God, this guy's hitting our daughter.
Yeah, in bed more like.
I like that shit.
So you got 2 kids now.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to fit this in now? When Kay grows up and starts to understand. Because obviously, like, you could be doing this in front of Kay and he's not
but I
gonna
feel
know
more
what.
like
not that Jojo knows, but it's still like for one, he's gonna run to his kids, his friends, and be like, oh my god, so I saw this.
Well, I think we tried to do that now with Jojo, because like we know that he's obviously more understanding, so he's curious now. Like, he asks questions about boobs and the penis and this and that, so we're very wary about that now. So sometimes, like, I see Ollie and then I twerk on his dick or something, or like I hump Ollie, and then they smile at us and we're kind of like, oh, that's so creepy. But no, I don't think they've ever caught us in action. Well, Joel hasn't. Like, it was only that one time. And I think another time where we were under the covers, but we managed to just cover ourselves. And then Jojo, like, went in the middle of us and we were naked from the bottom down. We were like, oh, we just want to sleep. And then he was like, okay, I want to sleep too. And we were like, oh, okay, this is awkward.
You got all the juices coming out of you. It's a bit smelly under the cover.
Oh, man. How do you feel? Like, obviously, Leo's still very small.
Well, our sex life before, like, pre-baby was like the dream. Like, it was like you said, ready for whenever. Even if you were tired and it was like you were in bed, you'll still be like, oh, all right, just put it in. So now it's kind of like you're caught in that moment of like, do I sacrifice the sleep for sex, or do I just not have sex and sacrifice my relationship, or what am I doing? At the moment, it's okay because he's small, he has no idea. But do you know what? No, having said that, like, I'm sorry, but if it's in the middle of the day and he's asking me like, can we have sex, and my kid's playing around, I'm not going to concentrate, because all I can hear is him crying or like smashing his toys or saying mama and papa, and like there's nothing sexy about that. So then you wait for him to have a nap, but by the time they have a nap, it's like, you want to have food because it's lunch or dinner or whatever, and then now I'm too full for you to be shaking me about.
Of course.
So now you're looking at me like, but you said when the baby goes to sleep. Yeah, but I'm hungry. There's just no winning.
I just feel like sometimes it feels very forced. Like before, like you say, like, you could do it anytime, any day, any place. Like now I feel like, because you kind of have to like, kind of like what you've touched on previously, we kind of have to schedule it around, when we have like a free little slot in the day. I feel like sometimes it's really forced on, like, oh, our kids are sleeping, so, wink, wink, you know what that means. And that sometimes can be a bit off-putting, because, like, maybe like I don't want to have sex, like, and it's okay. Or like our partners, like, they might be tired from like a draining day at work, which I really doubt, because it's always in their minds, like, horny fuckers. I feel like you can't be like, like beforehand, you could do it, like, say,
and like spontaneous.
Yeah, you could know, and like you could do it like in a weird place, like, a park, a toilet, whatever. Now it's like, no, like the sofa and the bed is as fun as it gets. Like maybe the floor, and then like your bones hurt and like your sciatica starts.
Your knees.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, let's change positions because this is not working out. It's really hard, but I mean, I think you would assume, like, obviously you're still in the early stages, like where Leo doesn't really understand, but it gets harder because like right now you can like do it anywhere, because Leo's not gonna, it's like, I feel like that stage is like when a dog's looking at you and they're kind of like, wonder what you're doing, because we used to have that.
My dog knows what we're doing. The minute we start having sex, mate, he starts wanking, and I'm not even joking. Like,
that is disgusting.
He starts looking at us with that intense, like, imagine an old pervy man. That is my dog. He stands there across the room, like, and like Frenchies have a tendency of being wankers, so he's proper going at it like, mate, the way he elbows his penis and licks at the same time and stares at us, and all you can hear is
we had that with Muñeca at the beginning, and I used to find it so creepy, because as soon as we get into action, she'll just literally stand at the end of the edge of the bed and like stare at us, or like my knickers will come off, and then all I would hear was like, and I was like, what is she doing? And she was licking my knickers, so I couldn't even put them back on. And I was like, that is just disgusting. And I've always said, I'm like, I think Muñeca's a lesbian, because she always enjoyed licking my knickers.
Is that even possible?
I don't know. Or she would like, I remember once, I think we were like in like doggy position, and like I remember Munyaka licking Ollie's bum, and then Ollie was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" It was just so awkward, and
I bet he enjoyed that.
Different stages, like obviously a dog, like yeah, they might know, but you know they can't talk, so
but you still feel that awkwardness.
Yeah,
though.
no, 100%.
I think Leo must have been like 3 months maybe, and he decided that it was a good time to wake up at 2 in the morning, and he just wanted to be carried and snuggled. Anyways, he was up, so we put him on our bed and we were just up talking, and we thought, let's just have sex, because clearly this kid is not going to sleep and we're not sleepy. So there it is, like 2:30 in the morning having sex, and he's on the bed, and like Jay's trying to like obviously do his thing, and then the baby's just like bouncing in the corner.
Like, you know when
like,
they're like they don't have the head control yet, and they're like kind of like trying to lift their head. Like, hey, I want to know what you're doing.
Literally. Oh, this is honestly, this is how much your anxiety as a mum gets, and you start thinking like all these weird scenarios that probably wouldn't even happen. But at the time that this was happening, I kept looking over, like he was next to me, and I could see him going up and down and shaking. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh my god, he's gonna get shaken baby syndrome. What is it?
Yeah, it's that.
And oh my god, his brain's gonna shake out of place, and oh my god, baby, you need to slow down. And he was proper like, you know, doing like grinding his thing inside me, and I was like, can you slow down a bit, because the baby's
was he
brain...
on the bed with you?
Yes, he was right next to me.
Imagine, what would you have done if like you guys were going at it and Leo just dropped off the bed?
Shut up.
It's like boom.
Well, the great mum in me was, I kept putting my hand over to make sure there was still enough space of the bed.
Oh no, I've never done it with them on the bed.
And it's just that thing that sometimes your head is not always there.
I think that's like the main point here. Like pre-baby, obviously you didn't have anything to think about.
You just didn't care.
Yeah, like
you didn't even have to think about getting pregnant, because you just, at the time, you'd be so horny, you just wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he'd be like, oh, I'm gonna make a baby. Like while he's inside me, he'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make you a baby right now. And if anything, that would turn me on even more. Like why? And now I'm like, how did giving me a baby turn me on? What is this irony? But your head was all there.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And now it's like, am I moaning too loud? Is the sofa moving too much?
We always think that.
The child gonna wake up? It's so annoying. It's like you sleep all night, but this one night that we're getting it in, you decide to now wake up and cry, and you're there like stuck. Like, you know when dogs have sex and they just like se quedan pegados.
Yeah.
You're just there thinking like, okay, are you actually gonna start crying and wake up, or can we continue? But then by the time like the baby goes back to sleep, you're like, oh, this is dead. Like,
it's like the algorithm is like messed up, so it's kind of like, yeah, no, it's a bit of a turn off now.
It's a no from me.
Go back to sleep. we tend to so like if we do have you know the naughty and we do make noise, we're always like, shit, what would we do? And it's like weird, because I don't know why we're always thinking this, but Ollie's like, what would you do if like Jojo walks in and like we're in the middle of it, and Clara, like we wait for all of them to go to sleep, like what are we gonna say if I'm moaning? Like, you know, maybe he thinks that I'm hitting you. Like, what explanation? And it's true, like, you have to get, like, in the moment, you're kind of like, but like, imagine like you're butt naked and your kid walks in on you. What explanation are you, like, you know?
Throwing Buzz like you're at daddy.
Yeah, and like, no, and the thing is, like, sometimes we play fights. Yeah. Imagine they, you know, think, oh my god, this is mommy calling me, we must go, and then they come, and then we have both kids like staring at us like,
and all of a sudden they see his penis and they're like, what's happening here? Why does mine not look like yours?
Well, Joel's always like, if he sees Ollie's, like I remember the first time he saw Ollie's penis, he was like, oh my god, it looks like an elephant trunk. I was pissing myself, because you know he's so innocent. And I remember Ollie cracking up and like, oh my god, go tell your teachers that. I'm like, you idiot. But it's just so cute the way kids are.
Mama, I love you.
Even like with sleep, do you not like kind of like miss that?
What, sleep?
Yeah. So like, you know, you could sleep till whatever time. I know we still struggle with that, like because, you know, now with kids, you have to kind of fix a routine for them to go to sleep by between 7 and 8. And then by the time they go to sleep, you try to spend a bit of you time with your partner. And then within that, you try to fix in like sex, like a midnight snack. And then the next day, you stay up for so long to try get in them minutes. And then the next day, you wake up and your eyes are in your ass because you're so tired. Whereas pre-baby, you could sleep whatever time you wanted and you could wake up whatever time you wanted.
Thing is, you'd be like, okay, fine, fuck it, I'm going to stay up late tonight. And then tomorrow when I get home from work, I'll just have dinner and go bed. And that was it. But you had the energy to do this and play around with it. But now it's like I was saying, you balance your own personal life and your self-care and your relationship. On the other side, you've got sleep and it's like my sanity.
Well, you were basically like selfish because, you know, you didn't have anyone to think of. So, you know, you were selfish.
Yeah, but who told me to go open my legs though?
Jesus.
I don't know if you can relate, but, you know, pre-baby and the sleep and everything and the whole lifestyle, and, you know, people always like, oh, because the thing is, you get a lot of people that are like, oh no, but your life won't change so much, or you get the naive parents to be that are like, oh, I'll try to not get affected as much, or we'll try to raise our child to our lifestyle so that, you know, it's not as bad. But then no one tells you, for it, like, you know, if we're talking about it in a self-care sexual way, no one tells you how you're going to feel sexually, or how your vagina is dry for so long because of your hormones. Like, at the beginning, like, I would feel like, and I've mentioned this about, you know, how I felt sexually, like, the first 2 days with Jay. Like, I was like, you know, it was there. And like the whole like
you're not enjoying it.
Yeah, but like you would feel horny and you'd feel like, yeah, like I want it, but then your vagina's acting up and now he's looking at you like, but what you were talking all of that and now you're coming with a dry vagina, like what is this? So like and the thing is, it's so intimidating because like we've had ups, downs, we've seen it all, we've done so much that I shouldn't feel intimidated that, you know, if my vagina is dry. But because I'm telling him like, oh my God, I want this and I want you to do that to me, he's not going to believe me. He's now thinking you're just doing this because, you know, I need a nut.
On top of like the whole dry vagina shit, in your mind, you're already like, your body's been through so much. Like, obviously, you don't look like you look like before. So that already impacts your mental health because you look in the mirror and you don't see the sexy woman that could turn on, that, you know, perky tits. Like, maybe perky tits, yes, because of all the milk that's flowing. But, you know, they might be a bit sore. So I can remember with Ollie, like sometimes if he would go for my boob, I'd be like, oh no, don't touch. You know, it's like I should have put like a sign like
no man's area.
Yeah, like it's all those things that you have to take into like consideration, like everything you're going through, and on top of that, all the hormones. Like I remember after giving birth to Caden, I would sweat so much, excessive amounts. Like I would wake up and there was like my shadow would be on the bed.
I remember you saying this.
Yeah, and then even Ollie would be like, ugh, get away from me. You sweat so much. And I'd be so heartbroken. Like, oh my God.
Do you know what I just imagined? Those little sweat bubbles you get above your top lip.
That was me. Like, but I think it was like my whole body. It's like basically like going to sleep was me showering. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like what is wrong with me? You know, and it's absolutely normal. But I didn't feel that with Joel. Like, I had no idea that this was going to happen to me. So when did this happen to me? And obviously, before that, I was still getting contractions. So I was like, nah, come on. Like, what is going on? Like, I must be broken. Like, did someone leave a baby inside of me? Because I'm sure I still need to push something out. For me, like, for both babies, I got stitches. So when I did go have sex, not just the dryness in the vagina, but I was still very like scared because I kept thinking, oh my God, if it goes in, you know, like it's gonna like rip open. I just kept putting so much pressure in my head, and I was imagining like the worst case scenario, like how am I gonna go tell my midwife, you know, you have to stitch me back up, my boyfriend ripped me again. It's so much. It's not pretty.
It really isn't. And you know what, like, funny you say this because the other day, like, you know when they go in proper like boom 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 like from behind and then it goes in the wrong hole, you know that feeling?
Oh, awful.
Well, like, it wasn't going into the wrong hole, but it went into, like, between, like, the end of your vagina and the little skin between that and your butthole.
That is the worst. I'm sorry, but that is the worst.
Oh, no, well, that's where my stitches were. So at one point, I'm, like, squeezing my ass so tight because I'm like, oh, my God, he just... But it's that... like, it's that thing, like, you're... how do you say it in English? You know when you're paranoid, basically.
Yeah.
That you're just gonna... His dick is, like, made out of steel and it's just gonna ruin your vagina again. And so, this, again, gets in the way of, like, because you're clenching every single thing you've got. But what I was saying about the naive parents to be and stuff, like, because everyone focuses the conversations about birthing and labor and how, the newborn stage and the skin on skin and all these beautiful things that, no one tells you, well, actually, before you felt very sexy and now you're going to have to love yourself all over again.
Self-love.
And now there's not going to be any time for sex. And you might be like, oh, well, no, there's always time for sex when the baby sleeps.
No.
Because I, for one, would be like, oh, I'm sure, like, at one point when your baby sleeps, you will have sex. Okay, yeah, but now that you're on the other side, it's like, well, why are you not having all this sex you said you were going to have? And it's just finding your balance again. And, it's hard at the beginning because obviously you're learning how to be yourself again. You're learning, you're finding your new identity. You're learning how to parent. And your life is so, like, it revolves around this child so much that you kind of forget on your relationship as well.
No, and like you said, like, it's like the day you give birth, I think you've mentioned this quite a lot, you are born as well as a mother.
Yeah.
And I think most people don't see it like that, and they just kind of like, you've been through so much, like, you've birthed like a big head into the world. Like, your vagina's basically destroyed. You've got stitches. Even if you don't have stitches, like, you still feel very sore. Like, if you've had stretch marks throughout your pregnancy, like, your body's obviously gone from like a massive belly back to a small one. So, like, the flexibility of your skin can make your skin saggy, like, just learning to love your body again. Like, look, I'm 5 years deep with Joel and like nearly 2 years with Caden, and I still sometimes, and even like, I find it funny because it's after my pregnancies, once I have my kids, my belly goes in like a week, and I feel like if I could obtain myself from, going back to the fridge and eating, I wouldn't be back in this point where I am now, because I find like I'm amazed at how great our bodies are, and we're just amazing at how much we can cope with and what our bodies go through. Our organs are moved all over the place, and then we function pretty normal, like, considering everything our body goes through. I would say 90% of the women function fine. Like, I know we have like the aches here and there, but we're not made out of like rock or steel. Like, we're only human. It's bound to happen. Like, we're gonna hurt, if maybe like babies, it was too heavy and he put a lot of pressure on like your back, so you're gonna have back pains. Like, I've heard, like, if you get epidurals, you tend to have an ongoing backache for like never ending. Like, I've heard it from my sister and like different people that I've heard from C-sections. They say that that's the thing, and it mostly affects them when the winter comes. And it's so much, like, and I just feel like, the other day, a friend posted, like a picture of her bed, like, not a picture, a video, and like, it was like, she was like, it's not perfect, I still have like a mum belly, and like, you could see like her stretch marks and stuff. And for some people, like, and especially like people that have not had kids, they might think like, like, get into the gym, like, there is no excuse. But there is, because, there's mums that, I give it to them, like, they will go gym and they'll find time, and I hands down, say that's good, because, you still have a purpose in your life. Like, you still try to manage your time, and not everything revolves around your
And it's that
kid.
way of loving yourself.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like I can't, I don't get anything from going gym. That's why I'm always like, I just need Ollie to give me an operation. And why Ollie? Because I just don't think like I can personally spend that money, because I need it to buy food afterwards. So yeah, like it's a lot. Like, and no one really, when you have a baby, no one tells you, your body's going to change extremely. Like, people think, or you get girls that solamente suben
a little bit
like, wicked pictures of their bodies, and this is, so you automatically think, wow, like, why don't I look like that? Like, I came out of birth, like giving birth, and like I still had a belly like 2 days later. Like, what's going on? Am I broken?
This is so bad of us, because like you just said it yourself, like our bodies are amazing. Like, you come out of giving birth and you feel superhero, like you feel superhuman, like, wow, I just did that. And when you look back at the pictures you used to look at, you used to take of, this is week 10, week whatever, you see the progress of how much your body changed within those 9 months. And now you've appreciated it because you're like, wow, I've grown a life inside me. But now you're standing in front of the mirror feeling disgusting,
hating that body.
And it's like, well, why are you being mean to yourself? You just said it yourself, that it's so amazing, but everyone is always so quick to judge on, well, actually you're a bit saggy, or actually you got stretch marks. And the thing is, like, there's skinny people that haven't had children, there's that have stretch marks. So why are their stretch marks beautiful and not ours? For me, it's very close to my heart, because pre-baby I had stretch marks on my thighs and my butt. Most people probably do. So I knew that I was prone to getting them. So it didn't come as a shock when I got them. What came as a shock was that I spent 38 weeks pregnant with not one stretch mark. As soon as I hit 38 weeks, I woke up with like 5 stretch marks, and I was like, wow. Like, at that point I kind of felt like, okay, like, I've got 2 more weeks to go, and it's good. I've got 5 stretch marks. I'm happy. Like, I'm okay. And because they're like, my stretch marks are really like silver, so they're not so visible. And I thought, okay, I can deal with this. And I felt really upset when, you're in front of the mirror, putting all that bio oil and cocoa butter on you. But I was coming to terms with, like, okay, this is the new me. And I felt okay with it. But what I didn't consider was that as soon as that bump was gone,
you would get more.
Your skin, and it would be saggy, so they wouldn't look as beautiful as
they did when the skin was stretched. Yeah,
exactly,
because it almost looked wrinkly.
Yeah, so now they've got texture. And as soon as everything was over and my body started going, like, shrinking back to itself, well, not even its normal self, but to your size, it was like, wow, my belly button really just went and did this to me. Like, my belly button looks completely, I'm sorry, but it looks horrible. And just the other day, I took a picture of myself in like a crop top and a thong, and I actually felt sexy for the first time after having my baby. Like, even on like my 40th week, when I took a picture of my bump on my due date, I felt sexy. And so the other day I took a picture because I felt like I got out of bed, I hadn't ate anything, I hadn't breathed, so my stomach was flat.
I say that all the time.
But then I walked out into the kitchen, and then everything just starts unfolding.
Mama, I love you.
Like, people are always like, oh, but you got a good body, and I'm like, yeah. In the morning,
wait until I breathe.
As soon as I breathe, it's just like, it's over for me. Like, or I open the fridge and it's like my head already knows the shitload amount of food I'm gonna eat, so it just automatically gains it on my belly. And this is what pisses me off. Like, like people like eat and then it goes like everywhere. Nah, my body just does not function like that. My body just goes straight to my belly. Like, it doesn't go to my bum. Like, and I remember one thing that affected me the most was I had a good bum, like, before baby. And then obviously I had Joel and I lost so much weight. And then I was like, after birth, I was like, wait, hold on, did I leave my bum in the hospital? Because where the hell is it? Like, I can't see it. And then obviously, because you've lost so much muscle and stuff, and you're kind of like, your body feels kind of like almost flaccid everywhere. And then I thought, no, I have to do exercise. But no, that didn't happen. I didn't do exercise. I just ate myself till, like, it appeared a little bit, and then bang, got pregnant again. So it disappeared again. And it's just my life,
Do you know what? That's so true.
But I just still try to see, like, I think, I don't know, I'm sure you go through it too, but like, it's good that, you have like a supportive partner, because sometimes that my partner notices it. So like I'm like, I try not to like, you know, at the beginning I would try not to get too undressed because like I was still trying to learn to love myself. So I'd be like, oh no, let's leave this on, and he'd be like,
turn the lights off.
like a little timid version. But yeah, like it's a hard one, you know, trying to do all that, and on top of that, you know, want to have sex.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm personally not there yet, and I think it's affected me a lot in terms of like my kink and the way I feel sexually. As well as like I know that I will look cute with clothes on because it's like you know me, like I love dressing up and I love looking good because if I look good I feel good, and then
that's like me with food.
But take that off, strip. But strip me back of it, it's like nah.
I told you we need to make little holes on our trousers, you know, because the trousers like hold up your ass, so it looks like you got something
and
there,
you know what?
Like,
and for me it's my legs. Like I used to love my legs so much, but now like, but it's what you're saying. Like during pregnancy, obviously you're not doing much movement. You're not. You're just a lump everywhere. And then when you're recovering, again, you're not doing. And then, you know, like I personally got back into the gym, but it just wasn't that same like energy. And then when I was really getting into it, coronavirus hits us. So now it's like all the work I had put in, and you know when you get over that phase of like, oh yeah, I'm back on it, and like yes, like gym is life. Yeah. Now it's like nah, like so
gym
it's
is
just
not
like
life. Food is life.
Yeah, and it's like I was probably starting to feel a bit confident again, and then now this happens, and now it's like I might be that psychopath that wears jeans once or twice a week.
Like Shaz, like when she saw Jay, like why is he wearing jeans?
Yeah. So, but you see, these are the things that people don't tell you about pre-baby.
Yeah. No, and I think like we have. Again, social media that plays an important part in our lives, and you know you see those women that are like gym freaks, and then they have their babies, and then they go back to their normal body. Like I remember I showing you that woman that she was like 9 months pregnant.
Oh my God,
and she had like abs,
6-pack,
and I was like, excuse me, where is? And I even felt sorry for her because remember that meme that they made of her baby, like his face was squashed. Because you almost think that, you know, like your body needs to grow for your baby to grow. But it's not like that. Like everyone's body's different. Like maybe she just has a lot of space inside. But yeah, like you automatically like compare yourself. Like I remember I was like, she's on her second baby. So with Caden, we were like pregnant similar times. And I think she was like even more weeks than I was. I think I was like 2 weeks behind. And I would always compare myself to her. So I'd be like 7 months and I already look like a whale. Like why is she still like, you know, in a thong and a bra and uploading pictures, yet I can't even do that. But I think it's está en uno también. Like sometimes we put that strain on ourselves because you know it is what it is. Like your body's been through like hell and back. You should just appreciate and learn to love it.
Yeah, but see, this is what I'm saying. Like we're just hypocrite. Well, I know I'm a hypocrite because I stand by that. But why you're saying? You know what you're saying, but I can't now look in the mirror and say I love myself.
No, I 100% stand with you. Even when I sit down, like sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't have, you know, flabs, but then I bend over and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's fine because it's not like you live your life bent over.
Well, you don't know that, do
and
you?
You know, like, oh, right. With a hole in your pants, okay. Just in case.
I'm ready for it.
But it's you know what you were saying about your partner saying like, oh, like he notices it and he's like, oh, but you know you still look beautiful and this and that, and like I'm pretty sure most of us do get it, and but it's like, I know, babes, but maybe you're just horny and your dick wants it. And this is why I said the other day, the moment that I get fat and stop getting laid, that is the moment that I need to stop eating.
But I just don't think that will ever happen. Well, with us anyways. I think Melissa's on the same boat as us.
Pretty sure I will be like size 100 and Jay will just be like, nah, babes, I'm sorry. I can no longer get inside your vagina.
You'll get lost in it.
Can you just pull your rolls up, please? I'll be like, hey, do you want to dive into my fat today?
Oh, no.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, but I think like a good support system, i.e. our partners, is very good to like kind of remind us, you know, like,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done it, I've done it. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, this is not me. Like, but then I think, and I look at my two little boys laughing and screaming and, you know, driving me up the wall. And yes, they're annoying, but I love those little boys more than my own life. And, you know, I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for them. So, you know, there has to be a sacrifice, and, you know, it had to be my body, and I'm all for it. Like,
It's like take the blood of a virgin and sacrifice a goat.
yeah, literally.
Take my vagina and sacrifice my body. No, it's really true. And the thing is, like, we need to stop thinking that our lives won't change as much. You can't expect to now have another living thing in your house and your life not to change. How do people expect you to be normal? Like, how do you now expect your body to be normal, your relationship to go back to normal, your life to go back to normal, your friendships to stay normal? There is no pre-baby normal. There's your new normal, and this is what we need to learn to love now.
Yeah. No, and I guarantee, like, if I ask any of my friends, you know, that are mums, would you, like, considering, like, the body changes you've gone through and, you know, mental health side of it, would you do it all over again? You will say yes.
Yeah.
And that's something I always try to do. So when I look at my body and I kind of hate it on how it is, like, you know, like, I see, like, I don't have, like, a small waist. I don't have, like, a big bum, you know. But I have my kids.
Excuse me, have you seen your butt?
No, but it's not how it used to be. So that's what, you know, like the same way I love your legs.
It's like you outside clothes.
Yeah, I love your legs, but you know, you're used to something else. Like, so it's just like that.
Yeah.
Like, we're always good to, you know, oh, I like how she looks. But, you know, even those fitness people, they might be feeling off or, you know, not normal. Like, it's only what, you know, what they want to put out there. So we can always be like, yes, they have everything figured out. And like you say, like, naive parents will always try to, you know, she got back to normal. But just talking like us, for example, us six, we would always go out pre-baby, you know, restaurant here, we would do this here, activity here, party here, do this, do that, fly here, fly there. After baby, it just all changes, you know, and it gets worse. Like, we've touched on the subject, you know, having friends and then being the only couple with kids, it kind of like, like, you need that balance. And then obviously the next couple has a baby, and then it's kind of like, oh, well, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
So it is hard, and especially like, digamos, like humans that like going out and, you know, have that thing. Like, I know a lot of people that they, on a Saturday, they have to go partying. With a baby, you can't do that.
Can I just butt in and say, for my birthday, on Friday, we partied until 2 a.m. Like, me and, like, Jay turned the living room into a club.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
Quarantine.
Like, I fully enjoyed my birthday this year more than I have.
Oh, I didn't.
All the others. I did, because I felt like, you know, yes, we stayed up till really late. We got everything done. Like, you know, we partied with you guys through like Zoom and stuff. But I got to wake up the next day and not feel like, you know, come on, it's a cansancio, that hungover feeling.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and then your kids are like jumping in your face, and like, I hate that. And like, I think I've always told you guys that that's one of the main reasons, like, I always dread going out. And like, I'm not going to be saying like, I'm not going to go out, because I will. Like, I don't want to be, you know, negative Nancy or like boring.
No, and also you still get burns of going out. Like, you're always like, oh, we need to do, you know.
But I know that as a couple and like friends and everything, you know, to keep living, like, we still need to go out. You know, you still have a purpose outside of your kids. And like, you know, if they have grandparents or like aunties, uncles, and they can babysit, then why not take advantage of that?
I'm so tired of babysitting my mum's grandchild. I'm so fed up.
You and me both, sister.
But you know what? I know for a fact that once this is all over and either side of the grandparents are like, let's take Leo off you guys for half an afternoon, I know I'm going to be so quick to be like, no, I'm all right.
It's always like that.
It's what you're saying. It's just like that sacrifice and that, like, just being you again and that freedom.
Mama's Code.
You know, before having a kid, did you think things would change drastically, or did you think, oh, you know, like, it will be okay, like, I'll find a way around it?
Me and my partner were the ones to be like, we'll find a way around it. Not like, we knew things were going to change, absolutely, we were never blinded to it. We just thought we would learn to adapt to the changes.
Okay.
So like now when, you know, when things are happening, we always would remember like, oh, remember when we thought, you know, things won't change, or we'll learn to mold around it. Like, I think we've done a great job at continuing our lifestyle within our house the same pre-baby, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. No, I asked it because having friends that have babies, sometimes, you know, if you guys are going out and say if it was us and you guys would invite us out and then would be like, no, we can't. Deep down, you could think, but you can, like, just leave your child with their grandparents. You know, it's not that hard. Like, you as a non-parent can think of ways around it. Like, you can do this. You have option one.
Okay, those kind of changes.
Like but then being a parent now, that you also can see, you know, if you were invited out, you have the same options, but will you do it?
Yeah. I get what you mean. I mean, I think it's really different for us because, and I think, you know, you've said it a million times, where you guys were the first to have a child, it was, for you guys, you probably felt that, like, pressure of, like, oh, like, we still need to go out because of our friends, or we're still a young couple and stuff. Whereas, for example, then it happened to Mel. Again, she had another person that she can relate and be like, oh, we've got children as well and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then we were the ones with no kids. So we would look at you guys like, oh, okay, like, we will do whatever it was, like, flexible to you guys.
Yeah.
But I know we would be like, oh, like, you know, is there anyone that can stay with them? Or what if we went earlier or a different time, or, you know. But then now I feel like that doesn't hit us in a way of like, oh, what would our friends say, because we know we're all in the same boat. However, it does affect in the way that, like, my mom, like, you know, she would be one to be like, oh, why don't you guys go out, I'll look after Lil. And I'm like, nah, like, I'm all right. Not because I don't trust her or I don't trust my partner's parents, but it's just I don't feel like I want to leave my child and then think like, what if I have a shit time? And then, like, the first time we left him, we went cinema to watch, I can't even remember what film it was, and I cried on the way there, and the cinema's like a 10-minute walk away from our house, and Jay was driving and he was like, shall we just turn back? Like, we don't even have to watch this film, you know, like, let's just go back. And I was like, no, we have to go. Like, we need to have this night for ourselves. The more you do it, the more you get used to it, I think. Because after that, we went out with you guys. Like, I think we went salsa. And then me and Jay have gone out a few times. So it's like, it gets easier.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember the first time I went out for Joel. Well, we were going to celebrate both of our birthdays, that we went Shoreditch, I think it was. Yeah. And I remember leaving that little bar that we were at, and I remember seeing the bus, and I made Ollie run so much, and I was running like if there was like a psycho behind us.
At the end.
Yeah, like a psycho behind us with a knife trying to kill us. And I was like, run, Ollie, run. You know, it's like 2 a.m. and we have to get home. And Ollie was like, what? But George was fine. Like, no, run. And I was just shouting at him. And the bus left. And I was so like, on the edge of myself that we walked to Elephant and Castle. And he was like, on the way, he was talking to me. He was like, baby, you need to stop being so pushy. Like, Joel is fine. And like, I got home and Joel was sleeping. Like, I don't think he even realised we had gone.
Yeah.
So it is that, because like remember last time when we were going to go out salsa, I did say, like, you were a bit like, yeah, I'm not sure. And then I was like, I mean, you can put Leo to bed.
Yeah.
And then go. It's not like you have to leave him and then not have your same routine. You'll be back before, you know. And normally I feel like you would...
They don't even remember
exactly.
this.
Yeah. Obviously, when they get older and they stay up late, or like I know my parents let Joel stay up late, they're more understanding, and but I always feel like I've never had trouble leaving my kids, say with my parents or my sister, because they're really flexible. Whereas I know people that, you know, have had a really hard time leaving their child. It is hard, but it does get easy.
It's like we become so obsessive.
Yeah, and it's like we're tired of the whole situation, so we're kind of like want a break, because it's okay as a parent to say, you know, it's annoying being with them all the time. Like, I feel like every parent needs to hear this. Like, kids will get annoying, but then when they go away, you're almost like, okay, no, can I have them back now? Like, I think I just needed an hour break. I'm okay to go now.
It's probably going to be like this when they go off to college or uni.
I don't want to think that far down, because I think I can already feel like my throat getting itchy.
Your anxiety.
You'll probably make me overthink, and then I'll like have depression, and then go into like
stop it
withdrawal, and like just rock myself to sleep. Not even sleep.
As we do at the end of each episode, we like to give a golden tips, and I think on this occasion, just have sex.
And also learn to love your body. You carried another human that is extraordinary, and we know it takes time. You've heard Jess, you've heard myself, like we've had babies and we're still, you know, trying to love ourselves. So we're not going to say it's easy, and it's a long journey, but you know, do whatever you can to kind of like remind yourself of the journey you've been through, and just look at your kids, and it's because of that little human being that you are.
Even if you're a psycho wearing jeans during quarantine, do it. Go for it.
Or if you want to eat your life away, do it. No one is judging you.
Just can't blame us when you're off the scales. Mama's code out. Mwah. Mama's code.
Whoop, whoop.
I keep stroking my leg up and down.